Okay.
So,
All right. And oh, that's about as accurate as the odds are. Was
yeah, I
it
think the
like
odds are like
60?
62 or 63
Yeah,
for
63
Solar.
for Sorla. But yeah, I mean, speaking of Coda, this is gonna be game number 1, where Snute showed some amazing games, an amazing game versus Hydra.
Yeah.
So we'll see. On the top left position, we have playing for Team Liquid. It is Snute. And on the bottom right,
Yeah.
you want to do it?
No, you can do it.
All right.
My voice is dying.
All right, perfect. On the bottom right position, playing for Samsung Galaxy, it is Solar.
Overlords are being produced.
No early
Solar.
pulls here, man.
Yeah. Solar slightly faster on that drone production. You can see he's somehow pulled himself a little bit over 10 minerals ahead. Actually, that's kind of impressive. I'm not sure what to attribute this to. Just better stacking, I guess. He's actually close to 20 minerals ahead. Like maybe let's just call it 10, because at some point, at the lowest point it's 10. At the highest it's maybe a little bit over 20. So
It's just the way Koreans work, man. Like they win in the small details
Yeah.
of the game. Like just little by little, these edges they just keep accumulating, and they just get ahead of the other player. You know, it's just it's very beautiful to watch.
extremely beautiful, dude.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna see a hatch first here by both players. At this point, if I were Solar, if I was watching the match between Snute and Hydra, I would probably try to sneak in an early pull. Snute has been going for a hatch first every game,
That is true.
so I wouldn't mind that. Solar is definitely capable of doing something like that. Snute again with a very delayed gas, and Solar with the earlier gas. So we'll see. It is even when you see things like this, you have to give credit for a player like Snute. If Snute is doing this almost every game, then he probably feels pretty safe in doing that. I, for one, also like taking my gas a little bit late. Very much like Snute does. I feel like that opens up a lot of possibilities, and you can still be relatively safe against everything. But once in a while, you can get caught with your pants down. So Snute will always have to watch his back and prevent that from happening. A lot of people think that taking a gas early is the greedy opener, but really taking the gas later is the greedy opener without a doubt, because you get more drones and more economy, and everything speeds up when you have more drones. You can mine more gas later in the game, if that makes sense.
Indeed. And Snute just showing that he enjoys playing with the later gas. Like once again, he is exactly 50 gas behind his opponent, and I mean,
And yeah, if he feels that's enough, then
Yeah.
that's what it is. Snute knows when his opponent took the gas. That's one of the most important things that you scout for in CVC. That's why it bothers me. For example, a lot of players will make a pair of links. Like we see neither of these players this time making a pair of links, but a lot of players just have it by default, or because they saw their favorite pro making a pair of links, and they think, let's just make a pair of links. But the pair of links, all they're ever gonna scout really is the gas. And if you already saw the gas with the Overlord, that's all the information you need. And that pair of links could have been a drone, you know, or 1/3 of a queen, or something a little bit more useful later in the game. So links are gonna be more powerful when speed is done. By the way, Solar's Painting Nest and Speed are pretty far along, and Snute hasn't started his. So we might see a semi-gasless style by Snute, where he's most likely gonna try to wall off his ramp with an Evo Chamber and a Roach Warren, and with that attempt to hold off any aggression. We saw already the very early Creep Tumor from the third queen, and a very quick lair by Snute. So
by Solar.
by Solar, I'm sorry, yeah. So I think from Solar, that's what we're looking at.
But why is he banking up so much gas, I wonder? Like, he waited until he had almost 300 gas to start this lair. Was this part of the build, or like did he scout something that made him, you know, not want to spend his gas early, like get an early lair, maybe just drone up more?
That is a really good question. I mean, what it does is when you mine the gas like that, you open up yourself to play mind games. If we look at, how do you look at buildings?
T.
Cool. So Snute is making a Baning Nest. He's taking all the precautions against a potential Ling Bane attack. And that is because Solar took that gas and he was mining from that gas. So when Snute checked the gas, he saw, okay, you've already mined 100 gas. Solar probably faked the speed. I wasn't actually paying attention, but if he noticed Snute was in his base with the Overlord, he probably started the speed because there's a little bit of an animation in the pool. And the Overlord poked in again, by the way, but at this point he doesn't know if the speed's already done, so he has to be careful regardless of the pool's animation. Whatever the case, that's what that does. It's a little bit of a mind game. It's not efficient to mine that gas early on because you're not, as you can see, you didn't have a use for it, and it would be more efficient to take two gases later on. Two gases faster than you would normally later on if you want that much gas. But yeah, it's just a mind game factor, I suppose. Or I didn't particularly see, like, if we were following his vision, it would be a little bit easier to determine exactly why he started mining that much. But that's the easiest reason, or the most simple reason I can think of.
And Snute is actually 8 drones ahead with a much earlier third, so I guess I would give the edge to him. Does this mean that Solar is planning to be aggressive as soon as his speed finishes, or...?
He will definitely poke out here. He has a good number of roaches, 20 that is, and moving across the map with speed. Again, he was waiting for that speed. This is something that we mentioned in the Hydra game. He has a really good timing with speed and +1 attack. However, Snute already has roaches, and he's actually gonna manage to catch a few reinforcement roaches from Solar here, so this is very good for the Norwegian player, but Solar's already moved into his natural base and he's going to be taking down drones. This is huge for Solar, and Snute's roaches are just not out yet. There are 13 in production, only 2 pop up, one gets slaughtered there, but Snute really has to wait until he has enough army for this. The Lynx have managed to cut down all the reinforcements, but let's not forget Solar has speed, so if the engagement's going poorly for him, he can start kiting, he can move somewhere else. Now he's gonna get trapped here, and I wouldn't mind it if he just focus fire the hatchery. I'm not sure if this is a fight he wants to take, because once the drones are in the fight, he's not gonna be able to win that fight. So snipes the hatchery very smartly, and now is beginning to back away. The damage has been done by Solar. A very nice
he can
time.
just get away from there because of his speed roaches,
Exactly.
Snute just started.
He cannot be chased.
And well, this leaves Solar so far ahead now, I guess. Like, the drone count is still pretty even, but now Solar is up ahead in 1 base, and Snute hasn't just started his hatchery. But yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate for Snute that I guess he was expecting the aggression to come. He started 3 spines, but the spines were at the 3rd, so they didn't do anything whatsoever.
That's a really good point. He was probably expecting the aggression at the 3rd, so... This is what we were talking about in the series with Marine Lord, for example, where I was alluding to, like, if you you won't have enough to defend one area, you just commit to the area that you think is most likely to get attacked. Because even if the army pokes into that area first, that buys you time in itself, and your opponent has to think if this area is defending, the other one might or is very likely to be defended as well. So I can't blame Snute for making the spines at the 3rd, but obviously it ended up backfiring here, as that's, like you pointed out, dead resources for him.
Yeah, and Solar pulling ahead, 15 drones ahead of Snute, and with his +2 is gonna finish before Snute, so he has a possibility to hit a timing attack, which is probably what could potentially end the game. Oh,
and he will. I mean, make no mistake about it. Solar knows that he killed a hatchery for Snute, and he knows that by killing that hatchery from Snute, he's had his economy much better for a much longer amount of time, at the very least. So he's probably just gonna get maxed out in attack, because he has to know that by the time he gets maxed out, if not hit a +2 timing, but by the time he gets maxed out, there's no way Snute is maxed out himself, because his economy has been hurt so much. So we will see Solar moving out here without a doubt within the next minute or so, and I think it has a pretty high chance to just outright end the game. I'd be extremely surprised if Solar didn't move out.
Yeah, and it feels like it times out so perfectly. Like he just maxed out, and the plus
There
2
we
is
go.
about to finish. Like it's so nice to see this, you know.
Yeah, Solar actually didn't get speed for his links, so he didn't realize this, and that's gonna cost him a little bit. He was, you know, gonna run the links forward and morph them ahead of the roaches, but now the roaches are having to wait for the links. I think Solar, once again, like I said, he thought maybe he had link speed. The Bane speed is about to finish though, funnily enough, and that should be enough to break Snute here. I don't see him holding. He's supply down, his upgrades down, and Bane links for their weight, if you wanna put it that way, are some of the most cost most supply efficient units.
This is a very nice concave though.
Oh yeah, this is terrible for Solar. He's bumping his. Okay, there we go. Now fixes it a little bit, but yeah, he doesn't want to be fighting like that. He has to be really careful. You can move your entire army on one side. That's what he's gonna do. Obliterate that side, and now he can hold the high ground. Now he can spread his roaches up the ramp, and he needs to do that. He's being a little bit sloppy. There we go. Now closing in the gaps, and that's gonna help him secure
Man,
this victory there. But
This
that was
plus
also a little
2
bit,
just doing so much work as well.
yeah,
And
yeah,
this,
absolutely. Now
This
he's
is gonna
holding
be
that.
game.
That's gonna be game indeed. So well done by Solar there, just securing himself a huge advantage with the third being killed. I'm really surprised. Like Snute had to be anticipating something like this happening, so he just figured I'll try to sit in the best possible concave that I can. But I think at that point, when you lost natural base and you're going up against a player of Solar's caliber, and you have to be expecting an attack like that, maybe it's best to try something crazy. Maybe spine up like crazy. Maybe go into infestors and drag out the game. Maybe take methodically one base at a time, and just forfeit the economy game, so to say, right? Like you're not gonna come back on that regard. So you might as well try to make your army as cost efficient as possible, and maybe hold those chokes with spines. But it is a difficult map to do that on, because when the army is sitting between the third and the natural, they can just choose which way to go. And once you forfeit that area, as we saw in this particular game, because Solar made a big mistake to try to attack both sides at the same time at first, but he had enough roaches that it didn't matter. What he should have done right away is what he ended up doing, and upon identifying that there were units on both ends, he should have just scattered his entire army and gone to just one place. And even if you're fighting up a good concave, you should have an overwhelming number of units. And as soon as you clear the units in that place, then you can hold the ramp and make it so that the units from the other base are not able to reinforce, which is what we saw at the end there. So well done by Solar.
Yeah.
That's gonna what's the score?
1-0.
1-0. That was the first game.
Yep.
Cool stuff.
Solid start for Solar.
Yeah,
That was a pretty convincing game.
pretty convincing. Yeah, good
And
stuff.
good stuff, man. Solar showing why he's the most recent DreamHack champion.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
literally.
Who did he beat in the finals? Do you remember?
I don't remember. No, I wasn't watching actually.
I-
If we're
I-
being completely honest here, Diego, thanks for the call out.
I'm sorry, man.
I was falling. I was.
Oh, to
I
be
was
fair, I did watch it and I don't remember it either.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway.
take it away, Diego, with the commentary.
Next map is gonna be Dash and Terminal. Snute
Yeah.
saying apparently he forgot to drop the Roach Warren. At what point was that?
I don't remember. I don't remember him forgetting to drop the roach one. Oh, I guess at the start, the first attack, the first wave, maybe he didn't have enough roaches out. But I thought he already had roaches out.
Yeah, that.
He just didn't have enough roaches out. Right?
I guess that explains why his speed was so late.
Oh, the roach speed was late. I'm just saying. I think that for the first attack, he had roaches out already, just not enough. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
sure.
what
I
I
might be
figured as
wrong.
well.
Yeah, I might be wrong. But I thought it was a case of not having enough roaches, not a case of not having a roach warren in time. But maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe you guys can check the VODs. We'll be posting them on YouTube, and maybe linking you tomorrow. So, or maybe later today. I'm not sure. Whatever the case, dash and terminal. So a little bit of a dash,
And a little bit of a terminal.
indeed.
On the right hand side of the map, currently down 1 game. It is Liquid Snute. And on the top side of the map, saying good luck, have fun, Jens, it is Samsung Galaxy Solar.
On the dash part of the map.
On the dash part of the map. What, is like the top dash and the right terminal?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
I mean, I don't even know what dash and terminal mean.
Me neither.
Dash and terminal.
Rob knows everything though. Maybe he can tell us.
Yeah, Rob is like the master of lore of all Blizzard games and
Rob,
even beyond that.
what does dash and terminal mean?
No.
Like, does it make sense?
Not to me.
The name? Huh.
Yeah.
If anyone in chat can make sense of the name, we are lost. And it's one of those things that you don't question, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
just
like,
a map name. Like,
yeah, but if you come to think of it, like most of the maps, like they are actually have a meaning. Like Terraform is
Ohana
Ohana means family.
Yeah. Terraform. What about Terraform?
Terraform is like Terra is basically jungle and it's a jungle map. You
Yeah.
have Iron Fortress
And it's a funny form, a funny shape. Iron Fortress makes sense.
yeah, it's pretty much a gray map.
Cactus Valley actually makes a lot of sense. It's a desert.
Yeah. But
Dash
dash
and
and
terminal, though.
means absolutely nothing.
Like, I'm not saying that it means absolutely nothing. I'm saying we're perplexed and we don't know what it means. So,
But I'm sure it means nothing.
and you know, if there's a terminal, then that means there's like a starting point, right? But here both bases are symmetrical, so it's kind of weird.
I don't know. I
Like,
guess we
it doesn't
could
look like either one of them is on the receiving end of the whatever terminal it is. Like, you know, if it's I don't even know.
Yeah, I guess you see some ships around, stuff like that. It's
Yeah, but
basically
where's
like
the
a big
dash?
spec. I don't know, man. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Anyway, standard stuff. Apparently, we missed something funny, and it wasn't our talk, guys. So, I'm not sure what's funny here. Something is funny, without a doubt, though. Let's see.
Well, I see overlords flying around, and
There is a hatchery there. That's for sure.
I mean,
They're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, they seem to be doing the exact same thing. So, second overlord, even being able to scout the main, that's funny. So I'm not sure what the point of the second overlord scouting here is. It might just be for positioning, so he can keep it behind the bases. So Snute is a really smart player especially when it comes to preparing and understanding maps. Like he's really good at taking the strengths of the maps and then figuring out what might be best there. Like I said before, he's not the most reactive player out there, but what he is he's fantastic at preparing. Like I don't know, like it's even like a not Sergey mindset, but it works really well. Like when I remember one time when a new map pool came out, he messaged me on Skype and he was like, "What do you think of this, this, and this? Where do you think you should take your bases?" It was actually merry-go-round. And he was asking like, "Where do you think you should take your third?" I'm like, "Oh, maybe here." I would just point at a base, and he'd be like, I think that maybe here is better because it's closer to defend for Muta," and he would go on with an explanation on how like you can counterattack and stuff like that. So again, he most of the time already has the style of game that he wants to play in mind, and then he decides based on the map features, like, you know, what's gonna be best to do. So this overlord placement, just a little bit of that. You see Solar doesn't have probably as good placement as Snute as far as collecting information, but also this has a meaning for Snute, right? Like there's information that he is looking for right now. He just poked to see if Solar was still mining gas, still making that link speed, and he was. So good on him. He knows there's links and that speed is done, or at least was on the way when he checked.
and we see layer and double extra gases coming down for Solar.
Yeah, Solar very smartly taking the gases at his natural though, because that's a place that Snute may not poke in to see. Now, one thing that I would really like from Solar is 3 gas Muta. I never see anyone other than myself go 3 gas Muta, and I'm not sure why. It's extremely powerful as long as your opponent isn't going for Muta. Now, Snute has already shown that he is good against Muta. Like he can just go an Infestor style if he was to fall behind, for example, in Muta numbers. But 3 gas Muta is really nice because if Muta grant you map air control and map control more than anything else, right? And what 3 gases as opposed to 4 would do is you're able to make more drones, you're mining more minerals, you're mining your third faster, therefore you have more units on the ground. And as long as the Muta are not contested on the air, I just like that a little bit better for the most part. But Solar did take all 4 gases and is going into Muta. This will allow him to you know, commit fully to Muta if he wants to. And if it was a Muta battle, then, you know, neither player would be behind in gas. So those are more or less the pros and cons of 4 versus 3 gas Muta. We see everything is going pretty much as expected. Snute has the earlier third. That's because Solar has the earlier tech and the earlier spire. But nothing too important going on. It seems like Solar might try to go for a deny. This could be big. The Baneling's actually trying to move in to go into that drone line, but shut down by the Queens. Very nice target firing by Snute. Snute, a very fast, a very good mechanical player. He invented the game thingy to improve your click accuracy, actually.
Oh yeah, I played that. Where it spawns like red dots and you have to.
Yep. Yep. That's the Snute game, man.
Yeah. Snute,
Good stuff.
he is a very it's not, I wouldn't say productive, but like a guy who is always looking to improve himself. As such as always playing, like he plays a game called Osu, where it's basically also to improve mouse accuracy.
Yeah. You
And-
play Osu, don't you? Maru plays
Yeah,
Osu.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Not Maru Kimchi.
Yeah, Maru Kimchi.
That is Masa.
And yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
free queen.
so for the first time, we might see Muta versus Muta.
Will be though. I don't know if I would like this from Snute. I mean, he has to know at this point that there are Muta on the way. And actually, Solar. Wait, Solar is blue, yeah. So Solar
Yes.
is dropping an infestation pit extremely fast. He is getting Muta attacks. I think that Solar is doing what Hydra did on this map. He does have pretty quick gases though. This is a little bit puzzling, but he did invest in that infestation pit, so I don't think that Solar is gonna be able to get much done with this Muta. I mean, like once Snute has Muta out, I think he just makes more than Solar, because actually no, because Snute is investing in range upgrades. I'm really confused.
Oh, if he starts saving up his minerals now, he could make up to 15.
There's the
Mutas
Hive.
and overwhelm.
Yeah, there's the Hive by Solar, by the way, but yeah, this is a little bit wacky because Snute is getting the Roach or the range upgrades, I should say, but he hit his Spire and he's actually going for the Carapace, which most likely means he's gonna be committing to Muta. So what Snute I think is gonna try to do here is potentially just hide a lot of Muta, and when Solar transitions into something else, he can destroy him up in the air. Now Solar is going for the Hive. I really like the style by Snute. Again, the Carapace, the armor upgrade for the Muta, you only get it if you're fighting Muta, right? Because I mean, Queens are usually inconsequential. There's usually not a lot of them. Hydras will demolish Muta anyway in a straight up fight, and their DPS is so high that you know the armor doesn't matter too much. Mutas are not units that are meant to fight heads on, but with the Carapace upgrade, they mitigate more damage than the attack upgrade does from the bouncing glaive. So it's a little bit more expensive of an upgrade, but it's a little better as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Now Muta numbers matter usually a lot more than upgrades up until a point where we have ridiculous numbers of Muta or ridiculously good upgrades. But in small numbers, it's something silly like a plus one Carapace. And don't quote me on the exact number. I used to know it, but I don't know it anymore. But it's something like plus one Carapace needs like 14 versus 13 versus 15 Muta, I think. Actually Rob is giving me a thumbs up. Apparently I'm right about this. That's good. I think like 14 versus 15 Muta, the attack upgrade or the Carapace upgrade kicks in.
It's
And not
possible
before
that Snute just outright wins this
Yeah.
game because
Crushed.
he made 25 Mutas at once, where Solar never went past 7.
Yeah.
It really caught him by surprise.
This is called the Alastor, actually.
The what?
The Alastor.
Oh, I know that player actually. Where was he from?
Spain.
Spain. Yes.
But yeah, that's what this is what Mini Racer calls the Elaster. It's basically when you just hide Muta and then show him out of nowhere and hope that your opponent's not ready for them. Because if Solar knew that Snute was switching to Muta, he would have just kept making Muta and won. He was ahead in gas, he had the Muta earlier, he had the Spire much earlier, but Snute with the surprise Muta just destroys. So great job by him, and with that he's gonna even the series up.
Yeah.
A little bit of trickery, I really like it. Snute is not the player that I would expect this trickery from.
Yeah. And I really like that he was so patient with it.
Oh, extremely patient, really well done.
Like, he got to 1800 to 1800, like, exactly, and I was like, okay, he's gonna make 18 mutas. And then, like, he just kept stacking.
Oh, he was at like 1300
yeah.
when the Spire finished. Yeah.
And then he just kept
he
piling
waited
up.
until he waited until he had like 25
just
mutas.
do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Just
do it! Do it! But he just kept winning.
Yeah, and the whole point of that is obviously not to give anything away. If your opponent sees a Mutalisk popping up, it is safe to assume that there are many brothers and sisters that have or will be made. So, because the Spire is not a cheap investment. So,
yeah,
very well done by Snute. Very patient play. Very elastery, and pulls himself out of a hole in that game and turns it around. Very, very well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, Terraform is gonna be map number 3.
Nice.
And Diego, yesterday you said tomorrow.
So just do it. But yeah, I mean, we got a series on our hands, man. 1-1.
We got a serious, man.
No 2-0s here, man.
No one's gonna go down easily. That's for shizzle.
That's for shizzle.
The countdown is beginning now. Get hyped.
Hype. Hype, hype, hype.
Hype, hype, hype.
So,
Diego.
are we finally gonna see an early pull, Cats?
I think so. From Solar, I bet.
I'm tired of seeing. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of seeing Hatch first every game.
Are you tired of seeing Hatch first every game?
Yeah. What happened to the 10 pull?
I think Solar's gonna go ahead and be like, you know what, Foreigner. You know what I'm gonna do, Foreigner? I'm gonna go for an early pull because you've been greedy as hell, and I thought we were playing with no tricks, but apparently you're playing with tricks. The Elaster much too powerful. This time around, on the bottom right hand corner, 5 minerals ahead of his opponent is Snute.
And on the top left position, it is Samsung Galaxy Solar.
Amazing, really. Just outstanding, Diego.
Outstanding. So, no early pulls.
No early pulls, as I predicted.
As you predicted, of course. Much less Solar. Solar would never go for the early pull. I mean, who would ever predict that Solar would go for an early pull?
Not me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna see them hang around. There's a couple of overlords cruising through the middle of the map.
Yeah.
Yin Yang right now, if you're into that kind of thing. Yin Yang. It's
Yin Yang.
about to
Is it like the...
Yin Yang.
That's like the two...
Yeah, the black and the...
Yeah, the black and
the
white.
black and the white, yeah. Yin Yang, Diego. It's all about Yin Yang in life, really. And we see a hatchery being planted.
Versus pull first.
From Snute, right?
Yes.
So, that's pretty cool. So Snute was thinking what we were potentially thinking. He was like,
Yeah.
you might have been like, oh, this guy hatch first every game. I'm gonna pull first this game, Solar. So if you pull me, early pull me, you're just gonna lose the game. And you know what? If you don't early pull me, well, now you know that I go pull first. So maybe next map I'll just go hatch first again.
Alright, and
Joke's on you.
if you had to give me a simple answer,
Yeah. Like simple answer, yes or no, or
like a short, like one sentence?
One sentence, one word.
kind of
How many
thing.
words are we talking?
I mean, nothing specific.
No, let's
like-
be specific here.
I mean, it's a simple question, so a simple answer.
Okay, I'll answer in the same amount of words as your question.
How ahead is a hatch first compared to pull first?
How ahead is a hatch first compared to... Wait, how ahead is a hatch first compared to a pull first? That's 11 words.
Okay.
A hatch first... No, that's a waste, man.
Whoa, you just spent all your words, man.
Oh no!
Like, it should have been like, okay, 2 larvae, this many drones.
Oh, hell, I don't know the exact mathematics, but mostly it's just in larva that the difference lies. And your gas is usually a little bit later when you go for the pool first.
Also, not much difference, I guess.
No, not too much. The queens are fantastic, man, because they, you know, inject this 4 larvae, and then that's why early hatcheries are not that impactful. Like, I like going 3 hatch before pool against Protoss almost every game, for example. But when people see it and they're like, oh, this is the greediest opener. I mean, sure, it is the greediest opener, but it's not even that greedy at all.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Snute speed is so late this game.
Like, it's just a little bit of larva. But yeah, you're right.
And, I mean, I guess Solar is gonna scout that only now 100 gas has been mined. And
right.
I guess this opens the opportunity to be aggressive.
Oh,
look
wow. Look at
just
that.
as I say, I called it, man.
Diego, you basically called it. You might be a CVC expert.
Exactly. And 1 spine is being thrown down.
Is it gonna be in time?
I don't think so, man.
Solar's moving across the map very
He
quickly.
knows he needs to buy time.
Very nice wall. I mean, this is beautiful. Oh, that creep tumor though. He might have to kill it, or
No, it's fine.
okay,
It's
okay.
fine.
He just makes a choke for the links there. Very well done. Very nice. However, that same choke is gonna make it so that the links have a lot of surface area to go into one of those. Yeah, that's well done. But still, there's a lot of surface area for those links. And this is why you don't usually make those chokes. It's because the links got full surface area in one of the evos because there wasn't a queen up there blocking. They're actually gonna go inside, and they're gonna choose to run inside the main. So Solar's just looking for damage here. If he was looking to end the game, we would see more. We would have seen more links produced. But we see as soon as Solar gets inside the main, he decides I should be able to do enough damage here. The main here is what I came from. Oh, making he could have picked off a few drones there. Really surprising.
There were two
very low drones. Yeah. There's one, and the other one's in the gas. Is he gonna find it?
Nope.
He could have definitely picked those off a little bit better.
But yeah, like he forced 4 evo chambers. That's 4 drones and a bunch of minerals.
Yeah.
I guess he killed 1 queen as well.
That he did. Snute very smartly is putting those evo chambers to use. At least one of them is gonna be researching the Carapace upgrade.
Only 2 more to go.
Yeah. Let's look at the workers right now, Diego.
We have 27 to 27.
Yeah, a fairly even game. Solar with a slight supply lead. Now, Solar has a Baneling Nest and Snute doesn't. And Solar's Baneling Nest is actually finished. He's actually making more links as well. So we're going to see a very committed attack by Solar potentially here. He is morphing those Banelings. Where is he morphing the Baneling, Solar?
Very back at that. Like almost.
No.
Oh,
no, right here.
That was very
He was
sneaky.
hiding them, yeah.
See.
Sneaky snake. And we'll see if he's able to break through here. There are a lot of queens with lots of transfuse that he has to get through. Now the Banelings should hit in between these 2 queens so that they damage not only the queens but the evo chambers next to them. And that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's going in soon. Just let the Banelings go, man.
Let them do their thing, Solar.
Yeah, I guess he's saying if you kill Banelings, that's fine, they will explode. If you don't, then
yeah,
they will
that is good actually. Now he saved
fine.
all his queens and they're gonna blow up the spines, the lings,
yeah,
the drones. Oh,
very beautiful.
Wrecking havoc here, man.
Wrecking havoc, wrecking Snute.
Wrecking some Snute here.
Wow, and that's gonna be
that
it.
Baneling
has
to be the hero.
Oh, he gets a great detonation. He turned it around. Holy macamole!
That Baneling at the
That Baneling, but is there another one? Was there only 1 Baneling made at the same time for Snute? There's still some links here trying to hold the fort. Supplies, surprisingly somewhat even here. Not too bad. Snute has a queen here. He's only 6 supply behind. Can he hold this Baneling? Has to be the hero, Diego.
Yeah, but 2 more Banelings being morphed. More
oh my god, he had exploded it by mistake. He X'd it.
Oh no.
Oh no, and Solar's gonna go in. This could be rip.
Oh, rip.
3 drones go down, the queen will go down, more links get inside. Solar just has a firm grip on this game. Very well done. You know the amazing thing about that for Solar is there was no way to anticipate that Snute was going for mass links. He could have thought that Snute was going for like roaches or something like that, especially after he walled off. But still, he managed to make a reactive Baneling Nest in CVC, which is not very common, and with that he was able to close the game out. So well done by him.
Well done.
Yeah, and with that we'll go to a game 4, man.
Game 4, yes.
Game 4 of the best of 7 series here. So
2-1. Still got a bunch of games to go, and I love it, man.
I'm loving it, dude.
I'm loving it. Getting to see some mass Evo chambers.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of game I like.
These are
When someone says, okay, CVZ finals, this is what I picture in my mind. And like, okay, this is not so bad, you know. This is not so Resident Sleeper. Right? This is actually pretty good.
It's pretty PogChamp.
Yeah, it's pretty PogChamp.
Yeah.
Seeing 4 Evo chamber walls and, you know, Blink Banes everywhere.
Alastors.
Alastors. The Alastor was pretty sick as well.
Indeed. The next map, Diego, what is it going to be called?
Cactus Valley.
A consistent map, except it's not really a valley, right? Like,
Why not?
there's no river.
There doesn't have to be a river for the
Yeah.
Really? You don't need a river for a valley? I'm going to look that up.
Are you for real? Are you really gonna look
I'm
at
actually going to look that up because if I can catch Rob being wrong, that will last forever.
You know that valleys can be like between mountains, right?
Do valleys need water?
it? You could just search valley as water.
Okay, maybe not a river, but what?
You could just search valley.
Definition of valley?
Or just valley. But yeah, sure. A low area of land between hills or mountains.
Typically with a river or stream flowing through it.
Doesn't have to be.
Checkmate.
It's not checkmate.
It is checkmate, come
It's
on.
not.
Typically it doesn't mean you need.
I mean, if it's in the definition of the word, I think that typically holds a lot of strength.
Yeah, but
We can check typically, definition of typically.
oh my.
Typically.
Here we go.
Where is this?
Are you actually searching the definition of typically?
Yeah, typical, maybe? Typical.
Oh.
Typical. Having the distinctive qualities of a particular type of person or thing. What? Okay, whatever. Whatever the case, I don't think this is a valley. You guys can call it a valley. Either way, there are cactuses, so he's right about that.
Well,
And we
you
have
know
a
there are
hatch
water
first.
in cactuses.
Two hatch firsts. Yeah, there are water in cactuses, but there are no. That's not like they grow in the desert, right? Like we see plenty of cactuses there. Well, at least it's somewhat consistent. The map and the name. And the map at least has that up on Dash and Terminal. Right? Like. At least the map is better in that regard.
Sure. I could get behind it.
Good. So a 4-player map, not many deviations. We have here the natural base of one of our players. As you can see, it is Solar, and here's the natural base of Snute on the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's the red Cirque playing for Team Liquid, Solar on the top left playing for Samsung Galaxy.
So, typical game arena.
Yep.
Both Zergs getting their gases at relatively the same time. And I don't know, man. What can we say? This is cross position, so this might go on for a while. What do you think?
It's possible. 4-player maps can be really tricky. Like early pools, not necessarily super early, but 13 and 14 pools are really common because it's they're a pretty good gamble because you're scouting one of the 3 potential places where your opponent can spawn with a first overlord. So you have that. You usually don't scout your opponent first, is what I'm trying to get at, and so that kind of early pool that we're past is pretty good. However, we see here that neither player chose to go for that, and it is actually Snute this time who has the gas lead compared to every other game. So Snute will be gaining control of a much bigger map, and he's playing it a lot safer than normal because it is a much bigger map. Now he's making a lot of links, actually 12 of them. Solar will be scouting here, so it's very important for him that he sees these links popping up. Now he sees 6. He saw the first 4, and now an additional 2. He will see 2 more, and that's 8. That's a few too many, says Solar. So he's Solar. So he's gonna drop a Spine Crawler and play defensively from here. Snute will be morphing the first initial 2 Banelings from those links that retreated. And look at this Solar, brilliant. knowing that even though he doesn't have speed, he can potentially catch those banelings. No, and he does, and he cancels them. So we have to see what they are seeing.
Okay, but I just want to see.
So yeah, now poking in, not doing a lot. That was a huge play by Solar, just canceling those banelings by Snute. Because if those banelings finish, Solar doesn't really have an answer to them at all, right? And then the links of Snute become a lot more powerful because they can be in the front and attack, and the links of Solar have to be in less numbers, so to say. Now Snute, for some reason, is playing defensively here. Maybe he thinks that Solar had a counter attack on the way or something like that, and he does. So those two banelings are actually gonna be pretty important here, but I feel like Snute has missed a timing window where he may have been able to do a little bit more damage. Now Solar is droning up behind it and is gonna get a drone advantage from it, I think, from the whole altercation. Is that a word? Altercation?
Altercation? I don't know what that
I
means.
think it is. I think I used it correctly as well.
I only know intrinsically.
Intrinsically?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Like the core of something.
The core of something?
Yes.
Give me an example.
Like Protoss is intrinsically broken. It's broken down to the core.
Like the mothership core?
No, like what makes the race, you know, is broken.
Okay.
Did that clear it up?
So the cell naga are broken.
Sure.
Nice.
Intrinsically broken.
Pretty sweet. So yeah, 3 wounded links running here and there. There's lures for both players. Snute this time with the advantage on that, as well as the advantage on the third base. So Solar does have the greater number of drones, and that's gonna be nice for him, but that's about the only advantage that he has at this point in time. Links are gonna go in for Snute and scout everything. So the timing of the lure, Snute knows that his lure is faster, or at least just as fast as Solar's, and that gives him a cue to go for a Spire. Also scouted the third gas of Solar, and Snute was always planning to go Spire. I mean, he had 4 gases already, but now he's got to be feeling a lot better about it because he saw that Solar had only 3 gases. They are cross positions. It's gonna take a while for Solar to move out. So Snute is in a great position as long as he can hold a roach attack that Solar will almost no doubt be doing. I mean,
but is it gonna be in time is the question here, because the Spire is already halfway through and
Yeah.
the speed just started for the roaches.
yeah, well, he's moving out, and banelings are gonna be pretty important here for Solar, I have to imagine as well.
8
Let's-
spine crawlers, cats.
8 spine crawler, 9, make it 9. But yeah,
9.
he might be forfeiting this this third base actually by the looks of it. And this time putting most of his defenses at the front. Let's look at the defense at the front. It might be wrongly set up. It is. All the spines are assuming that Solar is going to come from an angle that he's actually not going to come from. So he's going to have to reposition 3 or 4 of them right away. And Solar actually just choosing to back away.
Yep.
So
It's gonna give time for the mutas to come, but I guess
Yeah.
Snute is so poor, he spent all the money and the spine crawlers that
yeah. That's something that Solar managed to do just now. He forced Snute to either make spines or units.
Yeah.
If Snute had made units, he could move out with them at least. But since he chose to make spines, he doesn't really have much now. This was actually a brilliant play for Solar. He barely made any roaches at all, but he showed them right away. And look at this overreaction for Snute. I mean, just absolutely brilliant by Solar. I mean, we're looking at the game and it's still hard to see or undersell an attack. You know, you see the roaches moving out and you can't blame Snute for making that many spines. He was even ready to sacrifice his third base, and it may have died, but there's no way Solar was expecting that many spines to come out. So if Snute had made links, there's no way that Solar beats as many links as Snute could have with such a small army. So he just decided to back away and not even try to go for the third. Good plays on both ends, but Solar gets the better end from the mind games, and that's gonna put him in a position where he's way ahead in economy.
wait ahead.
69 drones.
work.
69 work. And a much faster third saturation despite the faster third that Snute had. So well done by Solar. Now Snute does have a 4th with gases already taken there. this map is very, very hard to keep full vision on. So that could be an issue for both players here. The overlord spread is very important, and that's what the Muta are gonna help a lot. He's gonna deny a lot of vision from Solar. He's gonna clear the map and potentially see everything that's going on with his own overlords. We'll see what Solar's plan here is. It looks like he's getting Infestors. Pathogen Glands will finish at the perfect time right before Infestors. If you want that to happen for yourself, you have to start Infestors when the Pathogen Glands upgrade is about 40% done, maybe
Snute is taking his
done.
5th base, while Solar hasn't still taken his 4th base. Isn't he playing way too greedy here?
Not really. It's so difficult to move out against Muta. If Solar moves out, he's pretty much all in, and he's pretty much hoping for a few things. Like right here, he's hoping that Snute didn't make a few more Muta, right? If we look at Solar's army right now, it's not really equipped to deal with any more Muta than Snute has. Like even barely it is. So it's a very committed attack. It's very risky by Solar. He has what, 8 Hydras here? 3, 6, 8, 9 Hydras. So if Snute had like say like 20, 25 Muta at this point, which wouldn't be unrealistic.
Yeah.
He could shut this down so easily.
Well,
even with Fungal, he can always
8 more
magic
mutas are
box.
coming, so it's potentially he could
Yeah, that's
just
gonna help a
crush
lot.
the engagement, especially with the Banelings. If they connect with the Hydralisk, there will be no anti-air.
Yeah, and the Banelings have speed. Snute has been committed to Muta, and this is not what Solar wanted to see. But the Fungals could be great. Nice dodge. But I don't know if I like that all the Banelings came in at the same time. Regardless, this Muta might be enough, but
No,
it
they're
doesn't
not.
look like it is.
Pushes them back, and only a handful of mutas are left, man.
Yeah. So a big mistake there by Solar, really, or by Snute, really. I think if the Banelings came from a few different angles rather than just one, that was a nice dodge of one Fungal. But there is 4 Infestors. Someone is gonna hit a Fungal there. Now the Muta are still enough to actually push this back. This is what I was talking about. Solar's army wasn't really equipped to deal with more Muta than Snute had at the time. And this is really cool by Snute because he actually was just banking that much money or that much gas that he hadn't decided where to allocate. And as he sees Solar move out, he decides to put it towards Muta. And he will end up cleaning this up, but I'm not sure if it's a little too late. He definitely took a little bit more damage than I think he should have.
I mean, sure he lost the base, but now that just means he's on even bases with Solar.
Yeah, that's not a huge deal.
And he was playing so greedy off of it that he had about 80 drones, that even losing so many drones, even losing 22 drones this game, he is still ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it's looking great for Snute, but
It's looking good for Snute. The problem for Solar is going to be that Snute's army composition is he's kind of committed to Muta. Let's put it that way. Solar is making Banelings, and people might be wondering why. Well, that's to counter Snute's Banelings, as funny as that is. So Solar wants his Banelings to hit Snute's Banelings to avoid those Banelings from getting to Solar's army. It's actually a pretty cool move here. And Solar has Infestors as well to deal with Snute's Infestors potentially, but he has been focusing on Hydras mostly, just because that is the unit that is going to be guaranteed to deal with a Muta. In order to deal with Muta with Infestors, A, you need to land a magic fungal where you get all of them in it. And B, you need like 4 or 5 fungals depending on how good you are at chain fungaling to kill that given group of Muta. So I like that Solar went for the Hydras here and the Banelings to account for Banelings instead of trying to commit to Infestors. That's where his gas is, because this is the army that can actually beat Muta. And now he can potentially start adding more Infestors.
yeah. And we have 35 mutas. That's quite the muta flock against 23 Hydralisks, 25 Hydralisks, and 4 Infestors. So yeah, as I
23
said,
Hydralisks and 25 Hydralisks?
Oh.
That's really impressive.
23 Hydralisks and then up to 25. That would be amazing, actually, up to 50 Hydralisks.
Yep. This is a very scary army for Snute to deal with still. He hasn't been transitioning. Does he have a Hive?
Nope, he has no Hive.
No Hiverino, so...
Just Mutaling Baneling versus Infestor, so he's
Yep.
gonna have to make a big concave with the Mutant.
Yeah, Solar very smartly going into a choke. And one choke where he's not going to be likely to get surrounded. Still, Snute is taking the time to set up, give, and surround. Like he's... Oh, and now moving back. No, like just move all the way around if you're going to engage this or go counterattack. You cannot fight this heads on. You need to come from multiple angles so that the banelings can get good detonations on the infestors.
Oh, now it's
but
gonna
right now
get
there's
really
nothing.
tricky.
Is there anyone home? And Solar's looking to hold those chokes, sending a few Hydras forward even. He doesn't care if a few units get surrounded because then he gets a perfect fungal on the links surrounding those units. Snute very smartly leading the way with links, but if there's no follow-up, it's going to be very difficult. This fungal doesn't really hit much. Fungal's just being thrown out, and I don't know if that was enough. Oh, for a second I thought that Snute would have more than those banelings behind this, and this is actually not a bad trade at all for Solar. Those mutas are so very expensive. He already took one of the bases of Snute down, and reinforcements here are killing a lot of drones. This is looking fantastic for the Korean player now, as he cleans house. Again, I thought that Snute had more than
Yeah,
those.
I
more than
figured
big
as well. All those fungals, they whiffed so fast. Like,
yeah, they really did. I feel like if Snute had another wave of banelings, like maybe just 5 to 10 banelings, that would have just crushed the Hydras right away.
Yeah.
So, a little bit unfortunate for him. Maybe could have taken the time to morph him, but he felt like Solar was already at his doorstep and wasn't able to. Now, I'm wondering where his rally units went. Like, did they just run into the army? Because I feel like those rallied units could have been morphing into infestors, if nothing else to come from, if for no other reason to at least try and sandwich the army. But yeah, as it stands, Solar was able to hold a choke. He got into a very favorable position. There were no other units coming from the other side, and he crushes the army of Snute, gaining himself an advantage. Now he has the better fighting army composition.
Now
And the better economy.
For the important question here is the game over, Cats? Like, is there any hope for Snute in this game?
Never say never, Diego.
But if you're Snute, then what do? Do you just like all in here and hope for the best, morph as many banelings as you can, and try to kill them?
That's a good question, Diego. Let's look at the units. Where do you see the buildings? G. T. So Snute does have an infestation pit. One wonders what the transition from that is, but it looks like he just wants to commit to an attack here, actually, and this might be game.
Yeah, he gets
Okay,
absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, Snute probably has a few options. He had an infestation pit, so maybe hanging back, making infestors, and he already had a few spines potentially, or adding some spines. That could have been an option.
Yeah.
The other option would be to just gather as many forces as you can, make as many units as you can, and go for it. That's what he did. It didn't end up working out, but it could have caught Solar off guard. And other options would rely on your opponent making mistakes when they're that far ahead. Maybe burrowed banelings could have been an option. We didn't see overseers really from Solar in any of his pushes. So if Snute could have burrowed banelings and guessed where Solar was going to walk towards, which is not an easy thing to do, obviously, then he could have gotten back in the game like that. Another way would have been to just keep making either Muta or banelings and then hope that your opponent doesn't have enough to deal with one of them. So just things like that. He could have mixed it up, but can't blame him for what he did. It was definitely one of the very likely options. Score, please, says someone in chat.
3-1
The score
Solar.
is 3-1 to Solar.
This is match point,
This
man.
is match point. Wow, we could be ending the tournament in this next match. That could be it.
And
It.
that just goes to show how much of a beast is Solar, because
Really?
this was the same score Snute had versus Hydra.
Yeah.
And
Very, very well played by Solar so far. Now, Snute has been no pushover. All these games have been pretty close,
Yeah,
and oftentimes, you know, kind of like one player has the advantage and then gives it to the other player, and it's been really back and forth here. So,
And you know what though? I think every game we have seen Muta openers, or maybe there was 1 or 2 games that there weren't Muta openers, but we have been seeing a lot of Mutaless these EVCs today. What do
For
you
sure.
think? I can only remember of 1 or 2 games that they did not open for Mutalisks.
yeah, I mean, the players are just players that are usually inclined to go Mutalisks. It's a stylistic choice. Hydra actually is not huge on Mutalisk, and we did see a few Roach games against Snute. But yeah, the meta's been shifting a little bit towards Muta, and in Legacy of the Void, you know, it might even do more so because the spores are getting unbuffed, I guess.
Oh yeah, that is
I'm not
true.
sure why that is, because like even in the current meta, There is, like, we are seeing a ton of Muta games. So with the Spore getting unbuffed, Muta is just going to become the new standard, or the old standard, I guess, in CVC for Legacy of the Void. So yeah, David Kim, if you're watching, there's no reason to do that.
And also nerf adepts.
And Warpers.
And Cyclones and Liberators. No,
Cyclones,
Cyclones
you
are
said?
fine, I guess.
Cyclones are fine. Liberinos already are getting a super nerf, so
What are they getting?
they're making it so that they require an upgrade to Siege.
Oh, it's already like that.
Yeah, it's
isn't
already
it?
like that.
Rip
So like,
Arena.
yeah, but that's pretty big.
Okay. Alright. So, on the bottom right,
They shouldn't do that, right? Like, that's unnecessary. They just should nerf the range. Anyway, let's just.
I don't know.
I'm gonna get angry, man.
I'm no expert of Legacy of the Void, man.
I'm just gonna get angry, man.
Don't be
Oh.
angry.
Oh!
Oh! On the bottom right position of the map,
I'm going for a 9 pull.
it is
Snute.
Snute. And on the bottom left side of the map,
Not going.
for a 9 pull,
It is
Samsung Galaxy Solar.
Solar.
Huh. And I guess, is this 10 Banelings, right?
It could be speed as well.
And not-
Actually, I think it's. It could be Speedling follow up. Actually, I think the gas was a little bit later than you would want it for Banelings.
Is that so? We'll
That
see.
is so.
And it is a hatch first for Solar.
Yeah, this is good for Snute.
Yep, very good for Snute. And this is how you get a comeback, man. You want a comeback? This is how you get it. You make ballsy moves.
Ballsy moves are always good, man.
Banelings called it.
Banelings called it.
Solar's going cross map with his Overlord too. Like he's
Oh.
not gonna see.
Wow.
Solar's going
That
cross
is so
map with his
unfortunate.
order.
No.
Is it unfortunate? This is actually good.
Is
He's
he-
actually gonna be able to spot the links, I think.
Is he though?
Wait. Who's
Snute is moving cross positions with his lings.
Oh no!
That is unfortunate. He does not know it.
You know why this is, right?
why so?
Because he hasn't seen an Overlord from
Ah,
Solar. Like,
that is
go
true.
to Snoot's vision, Rob.
Yeah.
So if you guys look at Snoot's vision and his vision of the map, he should have been expecting one Overlord from either side, right? Otherwise, Solar would have to be across the map. So because Solar sent his Overlord to scout across, Snute got confused as hell.
Okay, so Solar knows.
Oh my god, he knows. Not only does he know, but that bought him a lot of time.
Yeah.
This is not a 9 pull anymore. It's effectively a 12 or 13 pull because of how long the links have wasted time to attack here. So very not well done or poorly done by anyone, really. It was just a decision by Solar to send the Overlord across the map, and Snute, being the great player that he is, identifying that he should have seen an Overlord by now, goes across the map and wastes a lot of time. However, this is still looking not too bad at all for Snute. The queens are gonna make a huge difference. The first one pops up here at the natural, another one at the main. This Baneling getting taken down is huge. The queen finds a spot to tuck herself in, and this is actually gigantic. If Solar manages to win here and defend here, it will be lights out for Snute. The supply heavily favoring Solar, and he has 2 more queens in production. I think this is just disaster for Snute. It just wasn't meant to happen this way. I mean. Oh, but this queen is gonna get caught out in the open. A mistake from Solar, without a doubt. Yeah, it's not. It's supposed to be on creep, and it's supposed to be ready to get defended by fellow drones.
12 links are coming out though for Solar.
Yeah, and that's huge. They're very, very good composure by Solar, by the way. Not making any spines or anything like that. He's gonna get this painting before it morphs, and that's huge. That might just be lights out for Snute, especially with 2 more queens in production for Solar. I think that he's just gonna make a spine on the low ground at this natural
he's gonna
base
cancel
and
this
secure it.
Baneling as
Another
well.
Baneling getting cancelled. Snute has speed, so what, says Solar. And it looks like the DreamHack champion is gonna have another championship to add to his already very impressive resume here, because I don't know how on earth Snute can possibly come back from this. I mean, upon seeing a spine on the low ground, upon seeing these queens, the base has been secured by Solar. It was just a very unfortunate opener for Snute, and it looks like if you bet on Solar, your money is safe. If you bet on Snute, Come again next time.
Like this is how desperate Snute is, where
Oh.
he's. Oh, that was quite
That was
the
a nice
play,
hit,
though. Yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah, he needs. That was, as you said, a baby win. He
A
needs
baby
20
win, yeah.
more of those to come back into this game.
Absolutely, yeah. Baby wins, he needs at least 20.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 baby wins could do it, but I mean,
don't
this
know,
is...
man.
Yeah, I don't know how you even get a baby win here. If you go inside the main, that's a baby win. Nope. No baby wins.
The queens ain't gonna tolerate no baby wins here, man.
No baby wins to be had. And it looks like Snute is gonna move in for a final hurrah. Solar just spreading his links. Sure, they're gonna be taken down very cost inefficiently for him as they fight links one at a time, but at the same time there are no risk of making any gigantic mistake and getting all taken down by one Baneling. Right now the best that a Baneling could do is hit 4 links at the same time, and that is assuming that Solar just keeps them idle.
And those 4 links are just Spartans, man. They were just holding position. They're like
They were
ignore
holding
every-
position like they didn't care. I mean, they,
Yeah,
like,
just-
look at them. But yeah, those queens. I mean, those queens on the high ground as well. They have tons of energy. Snute is just giving it his all right now. He doesn't want to go down without a fight, and a fight you will have, my friend. But it's not that you can win, unfortunately.
That
So,
is a lot of links, though.
That is a lot of links,
Perhaps
but
if he sends the Banelings, 2 Banelings.
No, just no. Like, there's no way there.
No way.
Oh, that one Baneling. That's
No
just,
way.
yeah, there's just
Yeah,
too
so many
queens. The spine is
transfuses.
good. Oh my God, it's
Oh,
over.
no.
GG. Well played. And
GG.
Solar will become the champion of the 8. 8 amazing players were invited to participate in this tournament. The winner is you, I guess.
You, the viewer.
You, the viewer.
You
is the
won.
winner. But Solar as well. So congratulations to him. He will win $500. And Snute walks away with $300. The 3rd and 4th places
bad.
will walk away with $100. Not too bad for a couple of hours of play here for this
Yeah.
for this boys. So I'm sure.